with another episode. Don't look here on my face. It's a pimple from all the green paint I've had on my skin recently. Am I going to develop leprosy? 90% chance. But I do it for you guys. So just keep that in mind. And also, I don't know if you noticed in that last video, but when I tried to do that high kick, couldn't get my foot over my knee. Obviously have flexibility issues. I'm going to need to work on that, whether it be hot yoga or stretching. It needs to be addressed. So we're going to be talking about private equity today. And the reason is because I talked about dilution a couple days ago, and I feel like a lot of people are very confused by it. They don't really understand where it comes from. And I'm going to explain that today in today's video. It's going to take me about 10 minutes here, so if you're interested, please listen. It's very important to watch these opening scenes from me because it does have a lot of valuable information for people that might be new to the market and don't really know what's going on behind the scenes. They're only focused on the boards and the FOMO and the pumpers that are telling them one thing. They'll never bring up dilution. If you do bring up dilution, you're going to get hung from a cross. It's just the way it is. So I just kind of steer clear of that anymore, and I just release the information on this page. If you choose to listen, great. If you want to listen to the pumpers, so be it. It's your money. You do with it as you please. But the reason why penny stocks even exist and how they're not all shut down as scams is because there's so much money being made in them. Not by retail investors, not even by shorters, because nobody's shorting the market. Where the money is coming from, and not the penny market, where the money is coming from is from the diluters via private equity. So these private equity firms, they're angel investors or whatever. They go to these small companies. They find somebody that has a viable story. The better the story, the higher the pump. They link up with them. They plant this CEO in. They take the financials. The reason why a lot of them aren't even current yet is because they don't even have any financials out. They still need to do all the legal shit behind the scenes to embed these notes, get the pump ready, and then they start releasing all the information. So they get all these notes embedded, convertible notes. What is a convertible note? Let's say I give the company that I pretty much set up myself $100,000 for a convertible note that's due in 4 months, and it's issuable into common after those 4 months at a 75% discount from the lowest trading day as of a certain date. It's all very confusing at first glance. That's why I'm here to try and walk you through it today, to at least give you an initiation into it. We're going to be pulling up MWWC, one of the most recent runners, and we're going to show what type of notes they have on the books, because when these shares are issuable into common, the private equity, let's say they gave them $100,000 for 4 months, and it's convertible into 300 million shares at a price of 0.001 or 0.0001, trip one, and the price is now at 0.001 because of the story that's being told. They're up 10,000% on 100,000 or 1,000% on $1,000, and that translates into $1 million. So you see how these guys can scam and make a shit ton of money real quick, and they don't care about the longevity of the company because they've already made their money. They dump it and move on to the next to tell another story. That's why, as soon as you get a death of volume, they come in and they just destroy it through these dilutive MMs that they've given their common shares to. So let's pull up an example here. So OTC markets is where you're going to go to find all this stuff. Let me make this like this. Let me do this like this. And let me pull this puppy up. Because this is really important, guys. You really need to know this stuff. So you go to OTCmarkets.com, you go to disclosures, you click on their most recent filing, whether it be a 10K, 10Q, whatever the case. As far as MWWC, it's the 10K, it's the annual release. They just released all their filings to get current. Like I said, so they embedded all the notes, they're ready to go, they tell the story, they get the price up, they get it to 9, to 1 attack, where the volume's dying, now we start to dump, it's already down 50%, is there a time where they'll stop and they'll let the price relieve a little bit? Sure. Can it go past where it previously went of trip 9? Sure. I'm just getting you to understand what you're up against, because it's not just retail, it's not just profit takers, okay? You have a controller in the company that is up a huge percentage that's ready to dump on you at any time. That's why you have to follow the money in and you have to follow the money out. There's no other way around it. You're not going to beat them. There's not enough money coming from retail to be able to knock them out. I've seen it before when you get 2 million shares bought into the ask on some really hype storyline, but that is few and far between now, especially with the fact that a lot of money is not in the OTC markets as it used to be, because they've kind of ruined everything they had going, and the fact that the economy is down so low. More people are privy to this now, and you're not getting the runs that you used to. So you ignore all this shit. You don't need to know their revenue numbers. You don't need to know their cash flow. This is what you need to know right here. So issuance history, okay? Let's just read that. The goal of this section is to provide disclosure with respect to each event that resulted in any changes to the total shares outstanding, yada, yada, yada. Okay, sure. So they have to put this in writing, but if most people don't even know to look at this part. They don't even know what this means. They're just like, ooh, chart with numbers. Me no. But this is what it means, okay? As of now, they're common, as of 2022, I don't know if they've had any cancellations or not. It looks like they did for 1 billion of common. That was back on 2021 though, so I'm sure that that's changed. In fact, I know that it has because of all these new shares that were released. So let's just say the common shares on the books is 4,228,000,000, okay? And then you have preferred as well. So that is a very significant amount of shares. It's very heavy. It's hard to move. You need a mountain to move it. And they got that recently with heavy volume. But now what? Okay, so now that the price is up, let's go over the issuances. So new issuance, new issuance, new issuance, new issuance, new issuance, new issuance. 2022. Okay, so they've been setting this up for a year. So all these different these entities. Jason Schlenk, probably a scumbag. TAC Special Investments. Ted Ralston, scumbag. Joseph Caruso, scumbag. Southbridge Financial, scumbags. And they're unrestricted. Most are unrestricted. 300 million shares, 300 million shares, 300 million shares, all in common. Trip 3, Trip 3, Trip 1. Now, here's the one thing that they'll probably push back against me on as far as the pumpers go. It's under Rule 144. What's Rule 144? It's basically a restriction on when you can sell your shares. You have to have the TA release the legend on them. So you have to basically go to the TA, which are corrupt as well. It's all one big family, okay? They go to the TA, they say, oh yeah, throw that 144 on there, so we give them a little bit of confusion. We still can convert them. These 12-1 shares are probably converting now. These 10-20 shares are probably converting now. These 5-11 shares are probably converting now, all unrestricted, all at Trip 3 or less, even down to Trip 1. And, so listen, all these guys have, they even at 5, they're still up 100%. It doesn't go over how much cash they got to get these shares, but I'm sure it wasn't much. I'm sure it was a lot less than you would have paid. And I'm sure it probably cost them, let's say $300,000. Let's just say that for sake of argument. The price goes all the way up to 9. They're up to $900,000. So from that price down, with all the volume, these 150 million share bids, dump. Let's say they dump, they're up from 300 grand to 900 grand. They dump it all the way down. Let's say 50% down. They escape with 700 grand. They just doubled their money on a very large investment, no risk whatsoever, because they know the story is going to be told. They know that they're going to get paid pumpers to come in and get the price up. They know that, the market will be excited for this. So it's almost a win-win situation for them. Okay, and then you even go down, promissory and convertible notes, even more. Outstanding balance. So this is the money owed. The maturity date, 1/4/2023. This is your accrued interest. This is the principal amount of issuance. 17. Here's the conversion factor for these. This is Ted Ralston again. It's a loan, 75% discount, the lowest price in past 90 days. So, okay, so what was the lowest price in the past 90 days? Trip 1. So, correct me if I'm wrong, but what I'm seeing here is 10/4/2022. This guy gave them $388,000. I'm sure that has a lot to do with what we saw up here in the form of 300 million common, and they are convertible at 75% discount to Trip 1. The current price is Trip 5. Was it Trip 9? You can see. Now, listen. All these things are the real DD you need to do in any stock. You look at the red flags. Sure, go in there and see what news is coming up. Sure, see what the catalysts are in the pipeline. See what's going to cause interest in the market. See what the private equity is telling you the story's going to be. The better the story, the longer you hold. The worse the notes, the sooner you dump. Okay, so that's the important part. That's what private equity is. It's all this, and it's all this. And it's very confusing. Like I said, each different financial statement is going to look a little bit different, but you see all these notes on the books, it will bury a stock eventually. And that's why you see these stocks go up and they go down. If they don't have a great story, it'll go up and go back down, and then they'll reverse split. And then it's just a tale as old as time. It's recycled. It's cyclical. It's over and over and over again. I do not doubt that this guy and all these guys that you see, you look at this enough. I've heard Joseph Caruso before. They're all the same people. They're all part of the same family. If I wanted to go in here and do this myself, it would be like gangland, okay? Because they'd be like, nah, we got the keys. We got the control here, okay? And they all tend to be one type of person, and they don't look like this. So I'm just going to say that. I mean, they look like me, but they're not me. I'm not even going to get into that because I can't, because I have a page that's growing. You're going to have to do your own type of DD on those things. Listen, I've been looking into this for many, many years. I know what the hell I'm talking about, especially when it comes to this side of the market, and I know who controls it. I've done extensive dives into it, and I've noticed a very similar pattern that is starting to get a little bit more mainstream, but I still can't even dabble in it. I can't even mention it. All you need to know, that's not even something you need to know. What you need to know is this screen. Whenever you're doing your DD on a stock and you think, oh, this is going to be a real good one, make sure that they don't have convertible notes that are due to convert anytime soon. Some will actually give you a date, their maturity date. Let's say it came in on 10/4, the maturity date might be, 6 months later. So, there's ways to find out if they are diluting. There's ways to find out if they're not. I'm so experienced, not to toot my own horn, but I can literally just look at the trading of a stock and know if they're diluting or not, because I've stared at enough screens in my life that I don't even need to go into this. I just assume that they're diluting. And if the way to tell that they're not is I can just look at it and be like, oh, they're not diluting. Fuck, they're diluting. So this is something to really pay attention to. I'm glad that I went over that with you guys today. I don't mean to use MWWC as an example, but hey, I mean, I literally told you guys to sell 9 the other day because I looked at this and I saw that things were about to get issued. What happened literally within a day of me saying that, it's all the way back down to 5, probably has more to fall. Looking at Trip 3, 4 to enter, because again, the story hasn't even really started yet. If you want to hold a little bit longer, if you're down in a bag, do as you please. Remember to cut 10% losses. Very hard to do in trip stocks, but do not let yourself get in a bag any bigger than you're willing to hold. Okay, so that's all I got to say about private equity today. Like I said, I do know these things. This isn't something new to me. I lost $100,000 a while back, my first year of trading, because I didn't know these things, and that's why I started this page, because I hate to see people being scammed and being lied to, and that's why my slogan is, only the truth will be told. So let's get into the charts. We're going to pull up What are we going to start? We got a lot to go over today. This is going to be a very long video that's going to take forever to upload. But again, I do it for you guys. I'm trying to like get this information out there. I do this in one take. Sometimes I might stumble over my words. Sometimes I might say the wrong thing. But remember, like, there's no script to this. I'm going off the top of my head. Hopefully I'm able to explain it in layman's terms. Hopefully you understand what I'm trying to say. But it will get better as I go. Just like the video production has got better as I go, I will take more time and put more effort into these videos, and we'll go from there. So I appreciate you guys for subbing. Please like, please comment, smash those buttons with everything within inside you. Act like it's the hottest chick you've ever seen, and just get down and dirty. You know what I mean? Just act like it's your celebrity crush. She's naked in your bed, and she's just like, take me. And you just, what are you going to do? Are you going to go half-ass? No, you're going to go all in. And that's what I want you to do to that like button. I want you to act like it's celebrity crush and you're about to go nuts on it. And if you're a chick, act like it's Clint Eastwood. I don't know, okay? But this is DVLP. I do like this one. Is this one a scam? Listen, I just always assume that they all are. Kill me, hate me, doesn't matter. At least I'm going to be right most of the time. But I'll tell you what, this is why I focus a lot on charts. I get the ideas of what's going to run, and then I get in and I get out because, once dilution starts, it might be too late. Now, this thing popped up, flagged, came back down. It's very thin, so it actually got overexhausted. Now it's working its way back up. You're closing above this middle band. You tried to do that back then, is when my first call, but it got rejected, and that's why I sold, right? So this one, it tried to do it, got rejected, now it went over it. Now that was because of a late day close, a hard close. Whoever saw this chart probably thought the same thing, but now your RSI is turned up. Your MACD is turned up. You've had 2 days of above average volume. You're closing above this. The OTC markets is giving a little bit right now. I have no doubt that we see 5-7 in the very near future. That might be the first level of rejection. You might get an overexhaustion to 6. That would be very pretty. That's a 50% move from 4, which is why I bought it. I think that could happen very soon, if not tomorrow. Revenue numbers are expected soon. Apparently, they've had a very good first quarter, but their annual is coming out soon. That's probably going to outline all that. You are going to get a run into those releases. They do say that news is on the horizon, so boom. This one is not a bad one to get into. I don't mind this one at all. Looky here. Pop goes the weasel up to here. You go bing bong, you get out, and you live to see another day. EMAN. I mean, I said this was going to happen yesterday, and I was correct. Now, it didn't go up too much. This stock doesn't really, as you can see, the moves aren't as large as and you've got an extreme volume each day. I mean, look at that. But it's really not pushing the price too high. You did break above this previous line of resistance. It could keep going because you are pretty much in a blue sky right now as far as this time frame goes. Your MACD is really curled up. It might be reaching a tipping point. Your RSI is getting into the hot zone, but I do like it here. I don't like it. I mean, I don't hate it, but I would have just traded in and out, scalped it for 10%. That's my play on something like this, but it very likely could keep running. Just like, imagine it's like this back here. This probably broke a previous resistance, and it did get pretty high, okay? So you could be in that same situation right here. You could get another 2 days of blast off, go to the moon, sit there, have a cocktail, then soar back to Earth, just like, but make sure you come back to Earth and don't live up there because the oxygen will run out and you'll end up suffocating yourself and holding a bag, and then end up your wife will leave you, your son will disown you. You won't even know that that's possible, but there will be a loophole that he finds, and he will basically, you'll be left with no one. You'll be homeless, and you'll be penniless, and you'll be friendless. Okay, so that's what happens when you try and live on the moon. And a lot of people try and do that these days, and that's why they end up giving up or quitting, whatever the case may be. LYLT, I did like this chart yesterday, did not realize. This is why you have to do some DD into it, okay? Because a lot of these, I'll get a tip from it by somebody, I'll review the chart, I'll like the chart, and then the chart will actually get smidgy smashed. Now, I don't know why this is here. Yeah, I get it, dude, but do I care? No, I just want to see where the volume is. But now, okay, there. See, technological genius. I was basically raised with computers. When I was born in a lab, not a lab like you would do science in, but a computer lab. I grew up typing. I'm talking about age 1 to 4. That was when I got my initiation. Then I studied in Germany under John Kaklitis, the greatest computer engineer to ever live, for many, many years. So when there's movements made like that, don't go, ooh, ah, just remember who you're dealing with. So LYLT, just a sham today. I don't even see where I guess it is just there. Now that's a 40% drop, okay? That's not a great thing. Yesterday, it popped like crazy. It almost went 100% at the high. And that's what made me think that, oh, okay, this thing is going to fill that gap. I thought it would have an extra day to get to 46 before delisting, and they just shut the door. So, is it oversold on your technicals? Yeah. But is it a shit stock? Yeah. Is it getting delisted? Yeah. You want to stay away from things like that because you can get in a random winner day. But then if you don't get in at the right time, you can absolutely get demolished. And, you don't want to get demolished, okay? EATO. Excuse me, what? I have dyslexia, and I always type in the wrong thing, so bear with me here. Again, it's just when your brain is so big, some things don't work because it has to, my frontal lobe is just pressing everything else. But when you get this W formation, I like it. Now, this was another one of my top picks yesterday, and I'm still standing by it, no doubt. I think that this easily has 30 to 40% written all over it, which is what we look for. Your technicals are fucking friggin' incred. You're bouncing off bottom on your MACD. You're bouncing off bottom on your RSI. Everything's curling up. You're going green on your MACD. The volume's there. You did have a slight pullback, which gives everybody an opportunity to enter. Don't over smack the ass after a green day at the open. Wait, watch the stock, see how it performs, see if you like it. You can always buy at the end of the day. I think people tend to not exhaust their cash in the beginning of the day, and that becomes an issue because opportunities present themselves and you're going to be left with nothing. And if you can't day trade, you can't release one position to get in the one that you really wanted throughout the day. So that's ETAO, PLPL, PLPL. Daddy do likey, daddy do likey, daddy do likey. This one looks incredulous. It looks like it's going to go pip, pip, pang, pip, pip, parak. That's what I'm seeing. In fact, I am definitely going to load this as soon as that 6 wall breaks. I want to see, I wanted to get 5s. I'm a ding-dong for not getting 5s because I saw them all day, and I had my finger on the trigger, and then I was like, nah. And I should have. I should have just trusted my gut, went with 5 because I think they're done. Now you got to pay a whole nother 20% higher, which is fine, but that's still a big hop. But you get to see, okay, the 10K came out. The reason why I was going to do that, buy 5s, because the 10K came out, and then it just didn't get a good reaction until the end of the day, even though I was like, yo, the 10K came out. Just not as many eyes on it as I would want, but they will come. They will come. This is when you buy. You buy it, let's say the 6 break, okay? You watch it. Make sure the 6 is breaking with volume. There's a rumor out that by the 28th, this deal has to be done. This stock has been absolutely demolished. The last time they went through a reverse merger. Now they're playing the story all over again. So they did the dilution. They did all their shit that they needed to do behind the scenes. Now they run it again. Your technicals are fine. Your RSI is a little bit hot, but that's okay. It's in trips. It's harder to read down here. Your volume came in on this day that sent it to 6. Pull back to 5 over the next couple of days because of low volume. Your volume steadily starting to increase. PLPL is one of my top picks for the next 2 weeks. If you buy it at 6, it's almost a guarantee to make money. STRC. See, you live, you learn. Now, this thing dropped, and it is popping back up. A lot of people like this stock. This seems like it actually has good DD. I'm sure the company went through some type of stage of dilution, but they might be done now. It's trying to resurrect, and they keep knocking it back down. Now it's at an all-time low because of the state of the market. You know, here's the thing: is it's getting interest. The technicals look good. It's just, you know, you're not going to go on these massive moves, but this could easily be a 30% pop from here. You know, if you get to this top band, like it likes to touch the previous 3 times, you're looking at, you know, a 30% gain, and that's what we like to see, folks. 30% a day keeps the job away. AMC, I made this. Okay, yeah, watch. I mean, hey, when I speak, you listen. When I prophesy, you engulf yourself within my words, and you take your brain, you listen to and you cycle through my words, and you process. It might take time because my vocabulary is beyond comprehension. But when you cycle my words through your brain, you'll realize that only the truth is being told at all times. At least as far as I see it. Now, what I saw yesterday, I saw this gap here, right? Now, if you run a horizontal line, the low of the day, I would guarantee, was 4 or right above it. Okay, right above it, 406. Okay, so you don't always go for the identical number. But I said, load the vote at 4, and it'll pop. And what happened? It filled the gap almost to a T and popped up to 439. Not life-changing, but that's a guarantee. When you see a pullback like this, when they're clearly like, get it down, they're trying to fill a gap. They tried to do it here, but the market said nope. Then they were like, all right, we got enough people. The market's shitty enough. Let's bring it down to this gap. Then we start to move it back up. So a very good price to buy here. You're looking at 586 short term. Not a bad investment if you're a bigger trader and you need more liquidity. CGRA, this one's waiting on news. Listen, I know that I've done the DD on this, sure. I know the guy, he's been in other companies that are successful, sure. I do know that he also dilutes. I do also know that this, and I'm in this, I do also know that this was a huge pop that I actually was a part of. I bought down here and I sold like here, and I wanted to murk my little brain because I thought it was going to pull back after it broke this to get back in, just kind of like HNRC screwed me recently. But again, a gain is a gain. 10 times out of 10 you sell here, it does have a pullback. So, you know, you just get unlucky sometimes. But this is dilution, folks. And this was ran by some other guy, and it was an oil company only a year ago, not even. So, you know, 6 months ago, it's an oil company looking for $10 billion in revenues. That doesn't happen. Tanks all the way back down. Now all of a sudden it's a gym apparel company? Hey, did you think we forgot about the oil company? But, you know, could this run? Sure. But we trade these things, because if you don't and you believe that this stock has $10 billion in oil, yay, get your brain checked. Go to the doctor, go to psychiatrist, tap in, maybe get some Lexapro or whatever they use to fix your brain, and go, you know, get on meds. Because you need to be a dum-dum to think that a penny stock has $10 billion. And all those pumpers on there, they knew. They're already long gone. They're nowhere to be found anymore. And I went on that board and I called this drop, just like every other day. They call me King Droplet. And, you know, what happened? It tanked. And I was an idiot back then. I was a moron. I was a basher. I was every word in the book. And then when it tanked, I was still a dumbass. But they all left and never said, hey, you were right, or this, that, and the third. It just left a bunch of people with a bunch of bags, and even they're angry at me. So, you know, you're never going to win. That's why I try and stay away from the boards as much as possible, because, yeah, there's just no point in trying to teach some people that just don't want to learn. Now, just back to CGR for a second. There is news expected. I think at this low of a price, tapping on this old level of resistance, which became support, I do like it from here. I do think it has a chance to get up to this previous high of 4 cents. You're currently at 15. You're looking at a pretty good spike if you get the right news. Now, they did, tweet today. I don't really love that because it says that there might be a little bit of delay in an actual PR, but we'll play that one accordingly. EPAZ had a pop today. By the way, go follow Dollars Only Club on Twitter, spelled exactly how it is. Guy has some pretty good picks, is always in the loop, knows when the news is coming out. Take his word for it on the entries and take my word for it on the exits, because like EPAZ, okay, you get this huge day-to-day, amazing. You get this pullback and these two huge runs. Now, the reason for that is because it's a very thin stock and there's news expected on Monday. Now, listen, will the news come on Monday? Sure, most likely. Will it have the same effect on the stock that you think it will? Almost definitely not. Now, the reason for that is because this company isn't currently diluting. If they are, they're doing it very lightly. They're using the catalyst to their benefit. They're going to let this run tomorrow. There's going to be a time tomorrow where people like me take gains. Okay, they're going to take gains. I think it could get all the way up to 3 cents tomorrow, by the way. But they're going to take gains because they know what I know. And on Monday, they're either going to start diluting, or they're going to. The news is that people are just going to sell. When people say sell on news, that's usually the company. The company's selling on news because they get the price up, they drop the news to get a bunch of bidders, to get a bunch of volume, to get a bunch of people buying, and then that gives them liquidity to exit. Make sense? It should, because I just spent an entire video explaining it. That's the story being told. Whatever that they say, it's going to be the next drone company, the next oil company, the next company to go to Mars, the next company to invent a sex doll that actually gives you relief through sexual tensions. It doesn't matter, okay? It's still going to do what they all do, and that's dump on your skull, send you straight to the core of the earth to be with the devil and to live with him for the foreseeable future in a bag that you never wanted to be a part of. So remember, get in a few days before the news, get out the day before or the day of, you're golden. Even if it runs, which can happen, so be it. You still made your money, buy the rumor, sell the news, aka the dilution. Now, this is GMZP. I'm sure if I went into the chart or notes on this one, I would probably see a lot of the same shit. Huge run recently. It's actually a very large share structure, so I'm very surprised. It's because the amount of volume. It's because the amount of pumpers that are on it. They're probably still saying that this is a great stock to own at this price. The next leg is coming. News is coming. The CEO loves you. This, that, and the third. But I'm looking at my technicals and I'm saying, whoa, way too hot. I'm looking at the RSI hot. I'm looking at the MACD hot. I'm looking at the volume dying. This thing will come down to this previous level of resistance at 4, probably 4. You're probably looking at 4. That's a 50% haircut from here. Either listen to me or don't. Doesn't matter. It's your trade. Could this run? Of course, anything could happen. I could get struck down by God right now for telling a lie. But I won't, because lies will never be told. Just like sugar will never enter my lips. Just like I'll never have sex with a man. There's certain things that will never happen to me, okay? 3 of those is sex with a man, sugar in my lips, and lies from my mouth. Okay, those 3 things will never happen. So that's just the way life is. So you don't buy here on a whim, on a prayer, on some hope, some hopium. You buy when the price is right, and that will be a pullback down to 4. Set your alerts and play accordingly, folks. MWWC, we just went over this one in the opening. If you did not watch the opening, go back and watch it now, because it explained this. So, look, you get this, they dumped on you, okay? This is all dilution. You had 280 million shares dumped today, which actually isn't a tremendous amount of money, but that is the company. A lot of that is taking gains as well, but they're definitely releasing some of their common that they've recently converted. Your technicals are friggin' trash. You might as well be a trash man on Trash Boulevard for Trash Company, and you're the dirtiest young trash man to ever done live. But you're coming back right down here to 3, okay? You're going to tap 3. You might not get shares at 3. Chances are you do because of the notes on the books, but that's where they're diluting from. That's where the middle band is. I think that you get 3s, you're golden for the next run. TTCM. This one ran recently, also a dilution machine. Listen, I'm only going to tell the truth here, folks. I'm not going to lie. This thing, I was watching this little bitch down here, and I did not see this little pip, but gosh darn it, I wish I did because it ran 100% from it, and I've seen it getting a lot of interest recently. But now we wait. We wait for the pullback to enter. We see it over the next couple of days, what's going on. It just hit 18 yesterday. It closed at 11 today. Big old dumping going on. Your technicals are turning down. Remember, guys, I could just be bullish on everything and get a lot more subscribers, but I'd rather sift through just a bunch of idiots and get the smart people that are going to subscribe to my page because they want to listen to wisdom. They want to listen to the red flags, not only the green flags. They want to see the bad side, not just the good side, which is a very good practice to have. In fact, if you don't have it, you will lose everything. Stay on my goddamn knee! Jesus, Christoph McGillicuddy. But yeah, so, whatever came out, I think it's some type of ArcNet software nonsense. I've seen this stock trading at a much higher price. They've clearly diluted it down. Now they're ready to tell the story again, okay? So you wait for the pullback. You can still enter, and this price could still go up. If you're bagged, it's not like, some of them go up and down and never do it again. But I do think TTCM with that amount of volume is not done or anywhere near done, okay? So there's your little... Shut up! God. CNNA. This one had a little pip today. Probably because they sold it down hard in the beginning of the day, shook out retail, and then dropped news and sent it. So you see what they do. It's a disgusting game. They dump it, and then they're like, all right, news. What that does is it gets a lot of people out at the low. The MM soak up the shares. They know that news is coming out. They buy them up. Then they send the price, and then it's like, leaves those retailers on the side. Then what do? They come back in and buy at a higher price. Then that's too high. Then they get dumped on again, and then they dump the low again. And it's just a vicious cycle. And that's, again, why people don't make any money, is because they don't know what the hell they're doing, and they're just like getting scared out and greed in and scared out and greed in. But you're looking really good here. The chart doesn't look that bad. One of my friends said the chart looked terrible. A lot of green volume today, a lot of buying at the ask. You're halting at this middle band. So someone said that they're in at 2-1 today. I would have recommended selling 2-6 at the end of the day because you're going to always have the opportunity to get back in. Chances are it's not going to gap and go. You're going to get a sell-off in the morning. You want to re-enter? Great. You probably saved yourself $800. Just by that one trade. Don't be afraid to sell. Don't be afraid that you're going to miss out on some huge run, because chances are you won't. You'll have an opportunity to get back in. Now, I've made that mistake in HNRC recently, which, again, kind of hurt me because I was pissed. But, it's better to take that gain than the risk going all the way back to your average and waste your time and your effort. UNQL. Now, again, guys, whenever I say to give me recommendations, don't just throw the ticker on there. In fact, if I do start getting people just throwing up a ticker and being lazy like that, even though I'm sorry to any subscribers that do that. It's not being lazy. That's the wrong word. That you probably just don't know. But I need to know what the share structure is. I need to give me the DD. I'm taking the time to do all this work, and I'm not asking you for any money, just for a like and a subscription. So you just take the time, give me some bullet points on DD. The thing that I care about most is the upcoming catalyst. Is there some type of rumor of a catalyst coming out in a week? Okay. Is the share structure bloated? Okay. Is there convertible notes on the debt? Are they currently diluting? If so, through what MM? Okay. You go over, give me the bullet points, and then I will go over it on my page, and I will have those bullet points in my arsenal, and I'll be able to tell you what's going on, okay, a little bit better. But it's very hard for me to get all these requests and then go do the DD. I seriously do not have the time. But this one looks good. I do think pullback in the morning. You're going to have to get above this price of 3.9. You came all the way from 14 today, so almost a double from there for people that got lucky on that scoop. So just be careful on this one. I'd have to watch it trade to see if they're diluting. I'd have to look more into it. Again, they said more news to come. Sure, but there still is going to be ebbs and flows. Try to play it accordingly. UNQL. Yeah, I mean, look, okay, they're saying that they're not diluting. They're saying this because the OS has almost maxed out the AS. So 899 million shares in the OS. The AS is 900 million. Now, that's great and all. And that sometimes can say, yeah, they're maxed out. They can't dilute anymore. But here's the red flag, okay? Send me all the green flags you want. The company's turning around, all this stuff. But I'm going by the trend. The trend is your friend, and the trend is down. So until I see that change, I'm not going to believe anything that the company says because they're showing it to me. They could say whatever they want, but actions speak louder than words, and there's a whole lot of action to the downside right now. So that being said, can it go on a turn? Of course. Can they change the company around? Of course. I'm just going back by their previous history, and since they've maxed out the AS, they could be in for an AS raise. Are they going to do that? Not sure. Are they going to reverse split? Not sure. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but it's a very possible situation where they raise the AS to $2 billion. They're left with 799 million, and they have billions of shares. They have billions of shares to dilute. So that's the risk you run. Now, given their previous history, it is a risk. It is a risk. And, I hate to say this because it's a new stock that I'm looking at, but it's not one that I haven't traded before. Like I said, I traded it up at 26. I think I bought 26 cents. I think I bought like $40,000 worth. And then I ended up having to take like a $12,000 loss because I realized they were diluting the shit out of it. And thank God I did. Because think about it, if I just held that bag, it'd be down to one. I would have lost that entire 40 grand. So that's the importance of not holding bags. I'm sure there's a lot of people bagged in this on this last run. But look, it's following this trend line. Until it breaks that trend line, then I'm not interested. The company has to show me differently before I give it a buy. MULN. Finally looking like it wants to turn. Now, most small caps are starting to turn because the market's been getting some type of relief. They came out with CPI numbers that are saying that it's 6% inflation, which is comical. It's like the funniest thing I've ever heard. I'm not even going to get into that because it'll take too much time. But the government's a joke. Everything they say is a lie. People that actually, again, no politics. But it looks like we're going to pop back up to this middle band sometime soon. If you've been accumulating, like one of my subscribers, Toth, you might be in good shape. You might be able to get, but remember, once you get to that middle band, max top, you could possibly get to this top band. It seems like it wants to touch it a lot. So you get to the top band, you get 100%. You get to the middle band, you get 30%. Play it however you want to see it, but your technicals are very oversold. And you're going to start to get interest here because of this huge downslope and because of the market turning. I give it a week before the market turns back down, which is coming very shortly. Because it's just not sustainable. Our economy isn't good. It should be at zero. TRKA, this is another one that started to turn today, which is great. Love to see it. A lot of people have been beaten down. This was another top I called literally here. 95 cents. I went on the boards. I said, sell, sell, sell. Literally within a day, it was at 2.6. One of the worst drop-offs I've ever seen in my life via dilution. Well, again, called it out on the boards. Everybody called me a meanie, bobini, banana, nana, fofini, and I ended up being right. And now they look like dumbasses, so good for them. Came back down here, filled the gap. That gap is filled now. I thought it was going to go back to 15. It looks like it wants to resurrect a little bit here. You're looking at 35 cents price target, which is great. Forget all that $6 nonsense. That's all bull. There's no way that that's going to happen, so wipe that from your memory. Wipe that from everything. If you have it written down somewhere, burn it. Because it's going to 35, and that's pretty much all you're going to get from this, so live with it. Because that's just the way that it is. Now, this was funny, because when somebody mentioned this one today or last night, I mean, look, it's a new subscriber. I hate to do this, but, dude, RNVA, probably the biggest scam on planet Earth. This thing needed like 6 billion shares to move it 2 ticks. This is one of the most diluted, bloated pigs. It needs like 6 RSs yesterday. I can't even believe that there's still people that believe in this. Now, this guy's probably been in a bag for years, so he's just trying to get it out on pages to get a push. I don't know, okay? But this thing is next to zero. I just, for shits and giggles, I went and looked at it, open trading today when the market was open. 2.1 billion shares on the ask. Yeah, no. 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 No, no, no. No, 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 no. We don't touch that. EMED. Someone wanted me to review this. Yeah, I mean, it looks like it's bottoming out. It looks like a double bottom. You could form a W here, but you got to get some momentum and volume coming in. You need that. I mean, your technicals look fine. They look at the beginning of what could be a move. Like if you look at this here and you look at this here, they look almost identical. This thing ran from 7.1 to 8, but to 1.12 over time, about 2.5 weeks time. That's a great ROI. This thing has spiked in the past. I don't know if they've ballooned the SS anymore. You're going to need volume to come in. Your volume is really, really low. You're just going to need. This is also a very low liquidity stock, so I wouldn't kill yourself with size and buy too many shares. Could end up biting you in the ass. But double bottom, not a bad stock to accumulate. It's just not going to be super exciting, like as soon as you buy it. But that's why they call them investments, because sometimes you do need to wait. Sometimes it's better to wait than try to move around all the time, because you'll get your little brain beat. HNRC, I want to murk myself. Closed at pretty much the high of the day. I literally want to murk myself. Because I bought this one at 11. I sold 13.5. I bought back at like 12.25, I believe it was. And then I sold at 18.5 or 18.4. And then it just kept going. And I knew this time I should have just held it. Because this thing is beasting. I was like watching this more than my own stocks today, because I was just like, but that's how you're going to feel sometimes. Okay. Hindsight is 20/20. I thought that they were going to pull it back a little bit. They didn't. This is showing extreme bullishness. Again, only the truth will be told. If I come on here and I'm telling you I'm not bullish on your stock, listen to me, because I'm not looking for free shares. I'm looking to tell you the truth. If I come on here and I sold too soon, and I really wasn't trying to tell the truth, then I'd be like, yeah, nah, this all looks shit, dude. This shit pull it back, dog. This ain't even nice, oh. This is not cool. This shit don't look good. They gonna dilute, dude. No, we buy, dude, sell, dude. I could easily do that, right? But no, I'm like, damn, I screwed up, okay? Admitting your mistakes, screwing up, okay? Yeah, that's what I'm doing. You find me one other YouTuber that's on here just blatantly telling the truth about everything that he speaks, because he's not here for financial gain. He just wants to help people as much as he possibly can, even though that might not be that much. It's all that I can do, though. So I'm doing it, and I'm sitting here every day doing it. So I can't be, if anything, you can call me a scumbag, but you'll never call me a liar. I'll literally rip your throat out and feed it to your unborn kids for breakfast. Not even dinner, and not even at the table. I want to give it to them on their way to work, and they don't even go to work yet. They're on the bus on the way to school. But HNRC, brilliant. CDTX. Again, this one is flagging. I was asked to review this one, and I do not hate it. I think that the longer this flags, the more consolidation at this level, the better, because your technicals are slowly cooling off. They're starting to level out. This thing could easily go on a roller coaster move that gets a higher peak. I think, like I said, the longer this consolidates, the bigger the up move, the more shares that are transferring from weak hands to strong hands to actual longs. This has had no significant sell-off except for here, which was to shake retail Senate right on their dome pieces. Now it looks like it's getting ready. I don't know when it's going to happen, but if you're a larger liquidity holder, you want to have this stock in your portfolio because you don't know when it's going to go, but there's a very low downside and a very high upside. This might be one of those for you. HUBC. Been getting a lot of buzz around this one. Let's check it out. Haven't even looked into it yet. Okay, well, now I see why. But you're overbought now. Way to go up 20% today? Yeah, very, very nice. Not bad at all. This thing is super bullish, but you're going to flag here. I don't just see this running nonstop. You're going to have to get a pullback. I just wouldn't recommend buying at this price. Could it keep running? Of course. Just like I always say, it's not like this is a... Where did my RSI go? Okay, for some reason it's not on HUBC, and I don't know why. Maybe it hasn't been traded. But like this chart shows me nothing. This shows me something because it was flagging, and then it got bullish. But now you're starting to flag in a triangle here. Your volume's good, but it came down a little bit. I don't know, dude. Watch up here. Watch buying up here. It's tricky. And there's also certain, not Dollars Only Club, because he was bullish on this a couple of days ago, but he already had his run. There's a chick on Twitter. I'm not going to mention her name because of threat of lawsuit, but she looks like an idiot, and she has so many followers. She literally looks like a moron. And she's always like, just getting in. This is the best stock ever. Love it. And I don't know if she's the worst trader ever or if she's paid. I don't know who would pay her because she literally looks like the bottom of my shoe. I wouldn't have sex with her if she was the last person on earth and I needed to procreate or whatever it's called to keep the species going. I'd be like, well, that's human life. Literally. And now I hate to be aggressive on somebody's looks, but I wouldn't be if she was a truth teller, but she's not. She's either pumping people into the top or she's the worst trader ever. But if she was the worst trader ever, how does she have so many followers? I don't know. Things are confusing. But either way, the fact that she's like, hey, this is the best stock of all time. Like, it's super, super sexy. It's super califragilistic. Yeah. It's going to tank. PPCB. I really need to eat. That's why I'm low energy today, is because even though this is low energy for me, usually I'm like, but I like can't do that because I went to the gym and I haven't eaten like a scumbag. Not a scumbag because all I do is work no matter what. And I had to get a video up. No time to eat. That's the thing. Sometimes you're going to be like, when you're working, you're going to be like, oh man, it's time to eat, or I'm hungry, or oh, I'm tired, or I'm lazy. Get up and keep going. Shut the hell up. PPCB, looky. I like the looky of thisy. This is a flag. This is a very nice flag pennant situation. You buy these lows, you sell the top. You buy these lows. Now, if it breaks out of this, that's when you go bing, 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 bang, 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 bang. Not that high, but you can at least get to here. You could at least get to 2. But this looks like it wants to pop right out of this range. Keep an eye on it. Look, go into the DD. If anybody's in this, tell me what the situation is. Tell me what's coming up. You break out of this flag towards the upside, you're in good shape, just like if you break it to the downside. But I do like this. Volume's coming in. I think PPCB is a very good opportunity that awaits you. ICNM. HNRC. Another suggestion by a new subscriber. By the way, subscribers have been rolling in like I can't even keep track. I think I've gotten 125 this week. Nut. Because it took me 15 videos. And that's another thing is I deleted all my videos, or at least half of them, because I talked politics in the beginning. Pretty much had to wipe off all my work that's been done. But hey, you got to play by their rules. And by them, we can't get into that. PPCB. No. ICNM. I don't know. I don't hate it. I like it. I know. Big tank. I remember when it was going up. I remember following this when I never bought it, but they falsified this breakout tank city, oil tanker to the dungeons, and now it comes all the way back down here. But it could get released again soon. It looks like you're trying to break out of this trend line. Ooh, sexy. Your technicals are very, very hot. Oh man, I like it. I actually just squirted a little bit. That might be too much information, but I'll remember to keep my mouth shut next time that thought comes into my brain. Now, I do like this one. I do like it a lot. You're getting some consolidation on here. There's basically no volume, so don't be fooled by that kind of stuff. You need volume to come in. Look at this dilution day. Holy mamook. Holy makachiki. You had this huge pop, and then the dumper said, no. And then you came all the way back down, and now they're like, hey, what's the story again? Oh, yeah, I forgot about this day. I forgot about Judgment Day. Can we go up again? I think it will soon. CRBP. Holy maca chaka. Holy bing bing bing. Holy pop pop pop. Drop like crazy, scaring retail out, and then you just went absolute moonbeam. But okay, somebody want me to review the chart. As far as the chart goes, hey, you're at resistance, because this was a resistance line. It stopped, came back down like with the quickness. This was a resistance line, came back down to the bottom of the ocean. Now it went all the way back up to this resistance line, which is absolutely incredible. But be careful. Be very careful. Very, very careful. If you got it anywhere down here, I would have said sell it today. If you didn't sell it today, you might open lower. I'm not sure. But just get out as soon as you can. If it keeps running and you got in at 150, you just made 400%. Go to the bar, have some beers, order a lady, and enjoy your night. Even though I never recommend that, I've never had a prostitute in my life, never will, never needed one. I wouldn't even be able to, never mind, stop there. It's a kid show. We only say nice things and kind things and uplifting things and only good things to everyone that joins me. Rushen. I kind of believed in this guy back in the day. Now I'm going to be posting this to the page, and I got to say I'm not really happy with his performance, especially that I had him on and I did an interview with him, and he seemed like a very nice guy, which I'm sure he is, if you're his friend. But if you're an investor, he friggin' hates you. And that's just, again, actions speak louder than words. I brought this up with UNQL, and he is no different. I'm not here to fondle people as they trade. I'm here to tell people hard truths. And this guy was a trader back in the day. I know a lot about him through doing an interview with him. So he knows the tail of the market. Everything's keep getting strung on with this spin-off for Helios DX. And I know enough about it. I don't have enough time to explain it because it's not even worth my time at this point. But this is what happens when you have a bloated share structure. Nobody's interested anymore. You've already ran the same story over and over again. Never seems to go through. Always waiting on FINRA, always waiting on this, always waiting on that. That's great. Well, if you were going to do something like this, maybe don't tell the story when it's at 2 cents so you can, get people hooked and then dilute it all the way down to trips and then keep telling the same story and act like it's just FINRA's fault. Okay, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Maybe you didn't know that it was going to tank your share price, which you obviously did. But hey, bring some shareholder value or shut the hell up, honestly. You want to go with this guise of being a Christian, you're doing exactly what other religions do. And I'm not talking about Islam, I'm not talking about Buddhism, I'm talking about one in particular that we can't talk about. But either way, you want to be a Christian, you want to just dilute your shareholders to dust as you try and push your product. You know what? No. Nope. Not gonna fly. That's not. I'm not here to just pump. Okay, I'm not here to just get followers. I'm not here to just talk good. Okay, I'm here to tell people the truth, and the truth is, as far as I'm concerned, from what I'm seeing right now, scumbag. Out. This thing does not want to stay up. Now, this company I actually do think is legit. My friend was in this, got in a huge run back in the day. I was actually in subs, ran to dollars, sold, probably break even because it just was taking too long. Did I contemplate suicide? Of course. Did I stand on a ledge for over 6 hours? Yes. I'm joking. I would never do that. But I wanted to in my mind. And now it's got a good product. They're trying to get it out there. They're trying to expand. They're going to have to sell shares. That's what this is. They get it to pop. They sell more shares. They get it to pop. They sell more shares. Seems like this is a triple bottom, though. Somebody said that they bought in here recently. I do like this as far as a buy-in for a pop. You have time to wait. It's a solid company. They're not going to just murk you. It's at 49 cents. I'd have to look at the history. I don't know if they've gone through reverse splits. Obviously, it's on a downtrend. These guys need to turn it around too, okay? Because I'm sick of these guys coming on here. I care about my shareholders. I love my shareholders. And then they're just like, oh, by the way, we sold millions of shares. Oh, by the way, the price is down 90%, but we love it. We love it. Finger had a nice little reversal today. Reverse, verse, reverse, verse. Hey, put it in reverse, honey. Hey, yo, whoa, don't hit that other car. You just drive. I know, that's why I asked in the first place, babe. No sex tonight. That's fine. I wanted to jerk off anyway in the shower. Anyway, okay, I don't know where I'm going with this. This is when I tend to get loopy because I've been talking for too long. I need a cup of water. Okay, but we go from here. Finger go pop pop to middle band. Finger go, hey, middle band, I respect you. Do you respect me? And then it says no, and it rejects it. Now, if it does get above this, you're looking like a little pip pip to the top band. Okay, a little pip pip popper. You're getting this W4. But you're hitting this previous line of resistance. It is that middle band. Your techs look good. You're oversold. Could you go on a breakout to this top band? Yeah. 274 top. BXRX. 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 God, it's hard to talk for this long and keep things interesting. And to not screw up too drastically where I have to start all over again and want to murk my whole family. Wow, this is hard to even see, so I'm just not going to do it. All I know is take your time. BXRX, 44% today, could have a continued run tomorrow. Huge up pop on your RSI, obviously at a low. This thing has been beaten down to the core, the center of the earth. You got a gap up here at $21. Probably not going to get there. There's probably other gaps along the way, but I just can't even figure out how to get this bigger right now. BXRX, do your own DD, you little chook bags. UFAB, UFAB, 20% today. Remember how we learned that in the beginning of the video, and I just adapted? My entire brain is like sequenced into this. You're oversold, and you're getting a pip pip. You got to pop back up to this, and you got to pull back by close. So it wouldn't be a bad entry here at 2.4, but you're going to need to hold above 2.7, and you're going to want to, over time, get above 3.1, okay? You get past those two prices, you could get on an extended run to 100%, or maybe to 45. This one, it's a J hook, just like this. You did get a pretty big sell-off. I don't know why, because there wasn't a lot of profit takers because the price was so low. Maybe it was just bag people from this area that were like, finally, I get out of this room. I'm not Billy Bo Baggins anymore. I'm not Bag Boy Belinsky anymore. I'm not Baggy McChooch anymore. I'm not Bag Bongo Billy. And Sorry, UFAB, or I just did that. My brain doesn't work. My brain is in shambles. I need to plug back in because some people think that I'm organic, but I am actually a robot. I was sent here to tell the truth by God. And his will shall be done. Now, this one went pippity, pop, pop, pop today. I almost chased at 8s. It came back down to 8s. And it was up like 120% at that point. I'm like, nah, don't be a dumbass. Don't chase it. Don't do it. Now, this is also a very extended look on it. I don't know why my computer keeps doing this. It probably hates me and hates my guts. So I can't really show the chart here. But it ran really hard today. It could be a continued run. Closed up 145% at 7.6. If I would have bought in the 8s, I would have closed red, and I would have been very worried and concerned for tomorrow. You're going to need the volume continue. You're going to need a lot to continue to get this to keep moving. Absolute massive move today. Nobody was even paying attention to it. Ran from 4 all the way to pretty much 12, 400% at its peak from its bottom. Gorgeous move. You're going to need the volume to continue to get any type of continuation on that chart. SEII, SEII, Chinese dilution scam, has a new CEO. They could start to run this. Yo, what's the deal? What's the deal, God? You send me here as your only son, as a robot, to only tell the truth, and then what? You're just gonna do this? Thank you, God. This wasn't like this. I must have hit something. Oh, that's better. Okay, so look at this, guys. Okay, it's sick. Looks good. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Whatever, dude. I just won't do it then, okay? I won't do it. And it'll run 1,000,000%. Okay, fine. Sure. If this one's like it. See, unfathom. You had this big sell-off pop, initial probably front load, buy insiders, came back down. Now you get this bing bong bopper. You broke out of this top. You broke out of that resistance. Now you're going fling. I don't know how high it's going to go. I do like this breakout, though. I do like the MACD turning back up, even though it is tend to be pretty high. Your RSI is getting back into the hot zone. Watch for a false breakout here. It could just be hitting this trend line. I don't know, but it did come back and respect this middle band, and it is popping off of it. You are getting some green days in a lot of stocks right now, so keep an eye on it. I only would buy on this middle band. I wouldn't chase this right now, but you could get up to about, I'd say, 18, which does give you an easy 30% scalp if you're day trading. CPMD, oh my God, this is the longest video of all time. It's going to take 6 weeks to upload. I've been shooting this for 4 hours now, and I haven't even started to upload. Sick, dude, nice. Oh, sick, though. CPMD. Yeah, I mean, this is a swing. You could get it here, sell it there, get it there, sell it there, you get it here again. You sell it here, and you're looking at, from the lows, you're looking at 7.6 to 14.7. Okay, but it does look like as soon as it gets down here, it pops. As soon as it gets down here, it pops. As soon as it gets down here, it pops. I like all the technicals on it. I do like this for a swing trade between two certain. If you just get in here and sell it here, and get it here and sell it here, could run on you, but it might not. And I'd rather take the 10-time pattern than to hope for one that hasn't happened in a millennium. INND, a hearing aid company that's a big nonsense bullshit company, but whatever, we still give it the benefit of the doubt when it's running. W formation here, you break 5-8, you go shing shang, you go fling fling, you go pop pop, you go lick lick. Yeah, I really need to put this video off now. You break 5-8, you go to 12-1, end of story. Don't care what anybody says about it. Don't need to say much more. The chart speaks for itself. INND 5-8, sell it at 1 to be safe. CEOs. Called this out yesterday. Somebody brought it to my attention. Very, very smart. Pop off bottom. Popped the second day. Popped on the third day. Going to 6-3. I can't promise that, but that's what I'm seeing. And if it happens, then you got a big gain from 0.03. That's called 100%. That's a big ROI. I am done singing now before I will die. I really need to get off my page and take some time to meditate and repent for my sins of speech. But this thing really did pop off this bottom. Flag, bang, drop, fourth pop, go into 6, say it's not, and then I'll say you're a liar. Remember, if I tell a lie, I will be struck dead. If I ever die, it's going to be on this page. I'm going to be lying about a stock. But chances are that's not going to happen. Now, we got MJLB. I brought this up because it was like the biggest loser of the day on my watch list. You can't really see a lot here. It's going to piss me off that there's about 4 stocks in this entire video that did not come up correctly on the chart because, I'm being shunned by the Heavenly Father. But either way, this thing is a massive sell-off. Please let me know if you're in this, what happened today, or if it's just an overreaction. But when I see volume at that high, 35 million, which is high for the stock, that tells me dilution or an RS or something bad came out, AS raise, whatever the case may be. Let me know which one of those I was right about. And we watch this for bottom if it's an overreaction. That is all the stocks that I have for you today. Let me know if there's anything that you want me to review. I will. But remember to add the DD in there so I know what the hell I'm looking at. I have to look through hundreds of stocks a day just to whittle them down to this. So, I just don't have enough time. But until tomorrow, don't think you are, know you are, be one with the matrix, take the red pill. Hopefully that's the right one in the movie. I can't remember. Be smart, don't chase, don't listen to pumpers. only listen to me and yourself. Listen to me every time. Listen to yourself sometimes and never listen to pumpers. Bye-bye now.